So the movie starts with a researcher who, along with one of his colleagues, they were searching a spider, which is very rare but very special, and it is said that there are such powers inside the worm of that species of spiders, with the use of which not only a human can be cured, but it can also create special powers inside the worm. Well, now we are able to see the same researcher again who was trying to find the same spider with her partner, and here we are able to know from the talks of these two that in reality that spider was used for. The tribal groups here do this so that they can make themselves powerful, and because of being powerful, that tribal group remains hidden so that no one comes to know about their power, and now both of them were talking about this. Then suddenly the researcher finds the spider that he had come here to find, but as soon as the researcher picks up the spider, his friend Ajakal takes out a gun and shoots the girl. And this was done by Ajakal for the same reason, so that he could become powerful himself with the help of that spider, and at the present time he leaves from here with that spider, after which we are able to see the same researcher who is trying to save life. And she was swinging in the middle of death, and now this woman was about to die, when suddenly that tribal group arrives here who used to use that spider, and when they see it and they come to know. If this woman is pregnant, then they immediately pick her up and take her with them, and now when they reach their cave with that researcher, after reaching there, he is bitten by the same spider whose venom. There was power inside, but at the same time it is delivered, and a girl was born who had the power of the same spider, which had bitten this woman some time ago. But soon after that, the researcher also dies. Here, a man takes the girl in his lap and tells that after some time from today, she will definitely come here so that she can know how much sacrifice her mother had given while giving birth to her. Now, the scene shifts from here. Fast forward 30 years to 2003, where we see the same girl who was now grown up, and she used to work as a paramedic, whose name was Casey, and here the man who worked with her as her partner. His name was Ben Parker, yes, the same Ben Parker who told Spider-Man that with great powers come great responsibilities, but according to the timeline of this movie, Peter Parker has not been born yet. They see Ben helping a man to the hospital, and after finishing his work, Casey goes straight to her apartment where she sees a diary that was written by her mother. And also, her photo was still kept in her suitcase, which was from the same time when she was searching for that spider, and Casey's life was also going on in a similar manner. She used to help people in the morning, and in the evening talking to her mother's photo. Now the next day we were able to see Casey again, who had gone to a bridge with Ben so that she could save the life of a man present there. But at the present time, that man, he was trapped in his car, which met with an accident. Then here, Casey somehow, with the help of Ben, gets the man out of the car but gets trapped in the same car herself, and then that car also gets submerged under the same bridge. She falls into the water from where Casey was trying to get out so that she could save her life, but at the moment she is not able to get out. Then suddenly her power gets activated, due to which Casey starts feeling strange. And here, Casey is able to see the web of life for the first time. After which, when it opens its eyes, there was Ben Parker in front of it who was giving it CPR. And now after talking to Ben, Casey comes to know that she was underwater for more than 3 minutes, and her heartbeat had also stopped. After which, when she was taken out and given CPR, she suddenly came alive, and then with the help of Ben's heart rate machine, Casey's, he starts checking his heart rate, which suddenly increased from 79 to 89. After seeing this, Casey gets very shocked, but then suddenly Ben brings the same machine back so that he can check Casey's heart rate. After seeing this, Casey gets very excited and asks Ben that, "Why are you checking my heart rate twice?" But this, I was very excited to hear this because she had just checked Casey's heart rate for the first time. Then Casey doesn't understand anything and leaves from here. On the other hand, we see Ezekiel, who is in the building. He goes and takes a woman with him to his house, and in Ezekiel's house there was still the spider that he had stolen from Casey's mother. And here we learn that in reality, Ezekiel kept this woman here. The reason for this was so that he could use one of its programs, the system of which was such that he could extract all the information about anyone by looking at their photo. And with the help of that program, Ezekiel learned about 3 girls. He wanted to know what was going to take his life in the future, and he came to know all these things with the help of the power of the same spider. And then here Ajakal learns about that program from that woman with the help of his power. On the other side, we can see Casey, who had gone to Ben Parker's place the next day so that she could meet Mary Parker, and because Mary Parker was going to be delivered in some time, many other women had also come here, when suddenly Ben arrives here, who takes Casey with him, and now these people reach the place where all the other people needed these people. Now these people were saving everyone. Then suddenly in front of Casey, one of his own people appears. The partner dies, but the next moment Casey sees that the same partner is going to drive the car again. After seeing this, Casey also tries to stop him, but the man does not listen to her. And now, the same thing happens which someone had seen some time ago. That is, that man meets with an accident and dies in it. After seeing this thing, Cassie understood that she has started seeing the future, so she immediately goes to the doctor. She goes near him and consults him about this, and only then she comes to know that in reality all her medical reports are perfect and whatever she is seeing could be her illusion. And on the other hand, we, the medical experts, he is able to find out about the same girls who had killed him in his dreams. And with the help of a hacker, he also gets the CCTV control of the entire city, after which he is able to find them. Photos of the girls are made and he removes the masks from them, which reveals to him that in reality all 3 girls are teenagers, and if he kills them at this time, then they will never get power. And if those 3 girls do not have power, if they meet, then they will never be able to kill even Ezekiel. And thinking all this, Ezekiel leaves so that he can kill those 3 girls. And on the other side, we are able to see Casey, who is going to his home with the help of a train. She was going towards Casey, then suddenly hear those 3 girls come and sit in front of her, whom Ajikal was going to kill after some time. And now, with the help of his divine vision, Casey also comes to know about those 3. She learns that a man is going to come and kill them, and in order to save their lives, she immediately gets down from the train with these people. And within a short time, Ezekiel also reaches here, who when he sees that, has taken those 3 girls out of here. Then he immediately leaves from here, and outside we can see Casey, who is trying to explain to those 3 girls that, at the present time, all 3 of them, there is danger to their lives, but none of the 3 of them trust anyone's words, and in the meantime a man arrives here who was Ajikal himself. But at the present time he had come in his spider suit, and then Ajikal tries to attack these 3 by painting on the wall with the help of his power. But Casey somehow manages to save these 3 and runs away, hugs a car and sits in it. Then Casey tries to attack these 3. She asked the names, of which one's name was Anya, the other's name was Julia, and also the third one's name was Maddie. She wanted someone to leave these 3 with their parents, but here it comes to know that in reality, these 3, none of the parents live in the city. Then with the help of the radio playing in the taxi, Casey comes to know that in fact the news has spread throughout the city that after kidnapping 3 girls, a girl has run away by stealing a taxi, and when Casey had attacked these 3, he had also killed some policemen, but due to his power, no one could see him, and at the present time, Casey is also being considered responsible for the death of those policemen. And after knowing all this, Casey's mind gets disturbed, and at the present time, because she could not go anywhere, that is why she goes to the forest with these 3 girls. And now after going to the forest, all these people start talking among themselves and wonder why this is happening to these people. Then Casey tries to tell all 3 of them that she can actually see the future, but none of the 3 know about it. But he doesn't believe it, and he starts making fun of someone. Then suddenly here Julia, while talking about Ajikal, says that that person was walking on the walls like a spider. But after hearing this, Casey's mind also got disturbed. The light switches on, and she immediately goes towards her home, and she was also going to her home for the same reason, so that she could find out more things about spiders with the help of her mother's diary. That is why she sent these 3 girls to the jungle. She goes there alone after asking him to stay, and now when she reads her mother's diary after going to her house, she comes to know about the tribal group who had the power to see the future, and all those people used to live inside. Ezekiel was also with them. After seeing this thing, Casey became very fond because she was not able to understand what is the connection of Ezekiel with her mother. Then here Casey got this idea. So it was understood that she also has the power of that spider inside her. That is why she also tries to climb the wall here, but she falls on the ground. While on the other side we see those 3 girls who are in the forest. While waiting, they became very worried, and also they were feeling very hungry. That is why these people go to the nearby restaurant, which proves to be their biggest mistake because due to the absence of CCTV cameras in the forest, it is difficult for them to eat food. Had not been able to find them till now, but as soon as they reach the restaurant, Edge Kelly finds them with the help of CCTV, and now we are able to see Casey, who returns to the same place where she killed the 3. When the girls were left, none of the 3 girls were present there. Then Casey started searching for the 3 girls, who within a short time found them in a restaurant where they were eating. But as soon as Casey reaches there, Ezekiel also reaches there, who kills those 3 girls in no time, and this time, he also killed Casey. But now when Casey's eyes open, we come to know that in reality, Casey is standing at the same place where she had left those 3 girls. And whatever visions Casey got at the present time were from the future. And after knowing this thing that Ezekiel Casey is about to try to kill those 3 girls again, Casey quickly drives her car to the restaurant where those 3 girls were present. But this time, Ezekiel had reached there before Casey could reach that restaurant. And as soon as he sees those 3 girls, he starts attacking them, and seeing this, Casey rams her car inside the restaurant to save the lives of those 3 girls, after which she is the first one. Ezekiel is shocked and starts running away from here by putting those 3 girls in her car, and at the present time, Casey had saved those 3 girls from Ezekiel's grip twice. That is why Ezekiel gets very angry, and he starts talking about Casey. It is I who asks him to find out, and now when Ezekiel comes to know that in reality, Casey is the daughter of the same researcher whom he had killed, then he becomes very interested, and on the other hand, we are able to see Casey who is... She had taken those 3 girls to a hotel. Now Casey wanted to leave these 3 girls back to the police so that all the charges could be removed from her, and at the same time no one should touch these 3. Then Annie tells here that Annie's family are illegal immigrants, and at present her family has been deported from here, and if the police comes to know anything about Annie, then they will also bring Annie here. And Annie doesn't want this thing at all. That's why Casey here has to agree to it, even though she doesn't want to, and she doesn't tell the police about them. Now when these people were sleeping, here Casey has a dream. A picture comes in, which suddenly he is shown Ezekiel, who tells him that these 3 girls will grow up and kill him, and that is why he wants to kill all 3 of them. But at the moment, Cassie has no reaction on him, and when she opens her eyes in the morning, those 3 girls were sitting near her. Then Casey tells these 3 girls that she is here for some time so that she can know more things about those spiders and Edgegal. And that is why at the present time, she leaves these 3 girls with Ben Parker, after which she herself goes to the forests of Ajan, where after going there, Casey meets Santiago, who is actually... He was the same man who had delivered his mother and had also prophesied about Casey, and now as soon as Santiago sees Casey here, he immediately reconnaisses Casey, and now he finds him in the same cave. He takes her to the place where her mother died, and now, as soon as Casey reaches there, she starts having strange visions in which she also sees the scene from the past of how her mother died. After which Casey and she flashes back in time to see her mother sitting in front of a doctor who tells her that her daughter will actually be born with a syndrome, and that Casey will be born with the same syndrome. There was no treatment, that is why it was not known how long Casey would live, and then suddenly Casey's mother came to know about that spider and she started doing research on the same spider so that it could save Casey's life. And that is why she will be able to give to Amazon too in the last month of her pregnancy. And also, if she continues to concentrate slowly here, she will unlock more of her power, and when she unlocks her full power, then she will also get the power to change the future. And after knowing all this, Casey decides that she will go back and stop Ezekiel and will also take revenge for her mother's death, and thinking all this, she leaves from there. She leaves. On the other side, we are able to see Ezekiel, who had still not heard about those 3 girls for a week, hence he becomes very worried. And on the other side, we are able to see the 3 girls who are Mary. He was sitting with Parker when suddenly Mary Parker starts having labor pain, and also the ambulance did not reach here on time. So Ben Parker decides that with the help of these 3 girls, he can get Mary Parker out of trouble. Will somehow take them to the hospital, but as soon as these people go out, Ezekiel, on the other hand, comes to know where these 3 girls are. And now, after they leave from here, Casey also reaches here, who, when she returns home, when she doesn't find anyone, she uses her power for the first time on her own free will, which reveals to her that actually all of them are going towards the hospital. But on the way, Ezekiel will attack them so that she can kill those 3 girls. Then Casey starts thinking about something. Then the ambulance also reached here, which was called by Ben Parker. But in the meanwhile, Casey steals that ambulance and leaves from there. On the other side, we can see Ezekiel, who had reached in front of Ben Parker's car, and he was about to attack these people and kill them, but Casey reached here at the right time and blew Ezekiel back from the car. She gives, and now she puts Annie, Julia, as well as Maddie in her car and asks Ben Parker to take Mary Parker to the hospital. And as soon as Ezekiel sees that all 3 girls are sitting in the ambulance, he immediately goes to the ambulance, jumps on the person and starts attacking there. But then Casey gives the idea to Annie and asks her to use that machine, with the help of which a person is brought back to consciousness by giving a shockwave, and as soon as Annie uses that machine to call an ambulance. When she goes to the rooftop, Ezekiel gets a huge shock, due to which he falls a long distance, and Casey gets the opportunity to get these 3 girls out of here, and then, with the help of a radio, they get medical help. Giving the excuse of emergency, Casey calls a helicopter which was supposed to land on a nearby building. But after going to that building, they come to know that it is actually a firecracker factory, and then Casey also notices something strange. Visions start coming, after which she asks the 3 girls to burn the firecrackers present here, and as soon as these 3 girls do so, Ezekiel also reaches here, after which Ezekiel gets killed due to the burning firecrackers. Ko is very embarrassed, but here he was still after those 3 girls. And now, as soon as Ezekiel understands that those 3 girls are saved because of Casey, then the first thing he does is to separate Casey from them. And the helicopter that had come here was also completely destroyed by Ezekiel. At the same time, he separates these 3 girls here and starts trying to kill these 3 girls, somehow after seeing all these things. She was able to do so, but she couldn't understand how to save these 3 girls. Then suddenly she remembered Santiago, and with full concentration on her power, she saved these 3 people with the help of the web of life. Then suddenly Casey gets a vision that Ezekiel will die due to falling down a road. And now to accomplish the same thing, Casey provokes Ezekiel and brings him to the same location where the road was about to fall on her, and as soon as the road falls down, Ezekiel also dies. But then the part of the building where Casey was standing also breaks, and now Casey is about to fall straight into the nearby river. And this was not enough when suddenly a firecracker comes out of the factory and explodes near his eye. Then Annie, Maddie, and Julia somehow take Casey out, but Casey loses his eyesight completely. And also, due to falling from such a height, his entire part below the waist was paralyzed, which hurts all these people a lot. But Casey was very happy with the fact that even at the present time, the future was visible. And at the same time, he also saw that these 3 girls would become great superheroes in the future. And now we see Ben Parker in the hospital where Peter Parker was born to Mary Parker, which made everyone very happy. They were very happy, and after some time we are able to see Casey, who is now recovered, but due to her disability, she is not able to do any work. Hence, she decides to guide these 3 girls only, so that she can make him the best superhero of this city, with which this movie ends here. So hope you liked the explanation. If you liked the explanation, then subscribe the channel and select bell notification on all, and like the video also. I will keep bringing more such interesting explanation videos. Well, till then, tada and goodbye.